doesn't hit you all at once. Burnout doesn't come like a fire, it comes like a slow, quiet forgetting of who you used to be. This video is about the kind of exhaustion that doesn't come from working too hard, but from carrying a story about yourself that's no longer true. You're told early on, you're smart, you're gifted, you get things quickly, and for a while it works. You don't study and you still win. You don't try and somehow you're ahead. People clap for you for being something you didn't even build, and no one tells you that the real work isn't in the test score, it's in the quiet hours when no one's watching. You never learn how to work, you just learn how to win. Then the floor gives out. In high school, the ease starts to fade. You get your first bad grade and it hits you harder than it should, because you don't just fail the test, you fail the image, the version of you everyone praised. Suddenly, you're behind, not because you're not smart, but because you never had to learn how to try. Burnout doesn't come because you're lazy, it comes because you were never taught how to move forward when the wind stops pushing you. Burnout is cruel because it whispers two things. If you were smart, this would still be easy. If you have to try, maybe you were never gifted at all. That lie, that effort, is proof of failure, is one of the most damaging things gifted kids carry. But here's the truth. Ease was never the measure of brilliance. Grit is. You weren't supposed to have it all figured out at 13, and effort isn't the opposite of intelligence. It's the sign you're becoming someone real. Burnout isn't just tiredness, it's grief. Grief over a version of you that doesn't exist anymore. Grief over how hard it is now. Grief over being average when you were supposed to be exceptional. You start to wonder, if I'm not special, if I'm not gifted, if I'm not the smart one, then who am I? You don't just lose your energy, you lose your name. And that's where the spiritual ache begins. Because we built our worth on ability, not presence, on applause, not quiet self-knowing. No one teaches you how to fail with grace. No one tells you it's okay to not live up to what other people expected, especially when they built those expectations on something you never asked for. We reward children for performing, then punish them for not knowing how to grow. Burnout is not laziness, it's collapse, and it's often built by systems that measure people by output instead of depth. So of course you're tired. You've been sprinting under the weight of perfection for years. There's no magic fix, but here's what I know. Burnout wants you to keep running, but maybe healing begins when you stop. When you stop performing, stop pretending, stop chasing the version of you that never learned how to fall. Maybe your purpose now isn't to rise, but to root. Build habits slowly. Let rest become part of the ritual. Let trying count again, even if the results aren't clean. You are allowed to be average. You are allowed to rebuild. You are allowed to not be okay yet. Burnout isn't your fault. You were thrown into a system that never taught you how to be human, but you're learning now. And maybe the point was never to shine the brightest. Maybe it was to burn steadily, quiet, warm, real. So if you're tired, I get it. You're not alone. You're not broken. You're just carrying too much. Let it go and let yourself begin again.